This is Earth, a planet with a diameter of nearly 13,000 kilometers. However, the massive Earth is like a sesame seed in front of the Sun, if dropped in front of a giant watermelon. The Sun is the nearest star to us, with a radius of 696,000 kilometers, which is 109 times the radius of Earth. The Sun can contain 1.3 million Earths. Indeed, the Sun is enormous, but in the universe, stars larger than the Sun are abundant, with some being several billion, or even 10 billion times the size of the Sun. So which stars are these? Let's talk about the top 10 stars in the universe. The Sun doesn't even count as dust in front of them. This is a red supergiant star in the constellation Scorpius, approximately 12,000 light-years from Earth. This star's radius is roughly 1,287 times that of the Sun, which is close to 896 million kilometers. If we place Scorpius AH at the center of the solar system in the Sun's place, its surface would surpass Jupiter's orbit. Imagine how terrifying it is. It would swallow 5 of the 8 planets in the solar system. This massive star could contain approximately 2.1 billion of our suns. The radius of Canis Major VY, a red hypergiant in Canis Major, is around 30 to 40 times that of the Sun. It is 3,900 light-years from Earth. The radius of Canis Major VY is about 1,420 times the Sun's radius, approximately 988 million kilometers. Therefore, if placed at the center of the solar system in the Sun's place, its surface would also surpass Jupiter's orbit, and it can hold about 2.9 billion suns. Meanwhile, Canis Major VY's luminosity is 500,000 times greater than the Sun, ranking it among the most luminous stars known. The red supergiant in Cygnus has a mass near 25 times that of the Sun, and similarly, if placed at the center of the solar system in the Sun's position, its radius would still extend beyond Jupiter's orbit. A red supergiant in Sagittarius, this star has a mass ranging from 16 to 19 solar masses. Located approximately 5,542 light-years from Earth, the radius of Sagittarius VX is about 1,520 times that of the Sun. Approximately 1.06 billion kilometers, it can contain 3.5 billion suns. If Sagittarius VX were placed in the Sun's position, its surface would exceed Jupiter's orbit by 280 million kilometers, nearly reaching the end between Jupiter and Saturn's orbits. The gigantic DV Cephei A, situated in Cepheus, is a notable red hypergiant. Astronomers of the red supergiant in the Chui supercluster determined that its radius was about 1,530 times that of the Sun. That is about 1.065 billion kilometers. RW Cepheus is a red supergiant star in the constellation Cassiopeia, which is about 770,000 times brighter than the Sun. The mass is about 45 times that of the Sun, and it is about 11,500 light-years away from Earth. The radius of this star is about 1,535 times, and the radius of the Sun is about 1.068 billion kilometers. This giant star can hold 3.6 billion suns. If you were placed in the position of the Sun in the solar system, his surface would be closer to Saturn's orbit. This is a red supergiant star located in the Large Magellanic Galaxy, about 168,000 light-years away from the billion suns. Of course, if this star were placed on the Sun's surface, its surface would be one step closer to Saturn. It is a red supergiant star located in the constellation Cygnus, about 5,500 light-years away from Earth. Cygnus NML has a radius of approximately 1650 times that of the Sun, i.e. approximately 1.15 billion kilometers, and a volume of approximately 4.5 billion times that of the Sun. Put Cygnus NML in the position of the Sun at the center of the solar system. Its radius is almost close to Saturn's orbit. The mass of Cygnus NML is about 50 times that of the Sun after a supernova explosion. This star should be familiar to everyone. It has long been thought to be the largest known star by volume. Pi UI is a red supergiant star about 9,500 light-years away from the Earth. The radius of UI Shield is about 1,708 times that of the Sun, that is, about 1.189 billion kilometers, and its volume is about 5 billion times that of the Sun. Although the size of the shield seat is very huge, but its mass is only 7 to 10 times that of the Sun. Thus it shows how terribly it has expanded. In recent years, some astronomers have measured that the radius of UI Shield is only about 755 times that of the Sun. If this value is reliable, Its status as the second largest known star in volume will not be guaranteed. The shieldholder UI has an extremely low. The state is very unstable due to its density, making its radius difficult to measure, thus its size is highly debated. This is currently the largest known star by volume in the universe, a red hypergiant star. Located in the constellation Scuti, about 20,000 light-years from Earth, Stephenson 218's radius is 2,158 times that of the Sun, approximately 1.5 billion kilometers. This colossal star could fit 10 billion suns. Can you imagine how enormous it is? Finally, we place Stephenson 218 at the center of the solar system in the Sun's position. Its radius would exceed Saturn's orbit. The bitter star would also be engulfed by it. These are the top 10 largest stars in the universe, with volumes tens of billions, even 100 billion times that of the Sun. In front of them, the Sun isn't even a speck of dust, let alone Earth. This planet is called HD 10546b. It is currently the largest known planet in the universe. How big is it? The planet designated HD 10546b is a massive gas giant situated approximately 335 light-years away from our Earth, following an orbital path around the star known as HD 10546. Its diameter is about 7 times that of Jupiter, with a volume 343 times and a mass 20 times that of Jupiter. Its surface temperature exceeds 600 degrees Celsius. Jupiter has a diameter of 139,722 kilometers, so HD 10546b's diameter is 978,000 kilometers. Compared to Earth, this planet is large enough to fit 450,000 Earths, with a mass 6360 times that of Earth. Scientists discovered that HD 10546b is still forming, meaning its mass is continually increasing. Perhaps in the future, it will become even larger. If its mass could increase to about 70 times that of Jupiter, its fate might change from being the largest planet in the universe to becoming the smallest star.